Hi guys, and welcome to Tea with the Lewingtons. So this is a 3-part series, 3 episodes to this series, and I am here with footballing royalty. This family has done it all. They have been absolutely everywhere in the football game, and we are going to show you the story behind that in this podcast. So please stay tuned. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button and please comment on this because it really helps us to grow the content. So, without further ado, I am here with
Craig
Lewington.
Craig Lewington, yep.
Ray Lewington.
Dean.
And Dean Lewington. So, absolute pleasure. First and foremost, I just must say, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, and what an honour it is to have you guys in front of here. And we've got England international status here with your father. So, yeah, absolute pleasure to have you guys. Really looking forward to this. Really interested to hear your stories as well. So yeah, hopefully it won't be that painful and it will be enjoyable. So, Craig, let's start with you. So, I'm here with the English football's finest family dynasty, the Lewingtons. Ray, as head of the family, ex-Chelsea, Fulham player, manager at Watford, manager at Fulham, amongst others, and in a management setup at Crystal Palace and England, assistant manager in England. So, Craig and Dean, question to both of you. What was it like growing up in this football environment?
To be fair, we get asked it quite a lot. You know no different because it's just your dad and it's just what he does. So ever since we were like that high, my mum would take us to wherever dad was playing. So every Saturday we'd be up the motorway watching him. Newcastle, Sunderland, Hull, wherever it, no matter, didn't matter how north it was, we would have been there. So yeah, it's just something you get used to. You don't know no different. It has its pluses. Do you know what I mean? You are probably the popular one at school because of your dad, which was good for Dean because he had no mates anyway. But
Billy no mate.
Yeah. but it also, as you get a bit older, and he done the England side of it, it also had a negative side. You know, when they didn't do so well. And you understand the stick that's going on. So there's pros and cons to it, but no, listen, if your dad's involved in football, no disrespect to an electrician or something, but it's more interesting than your dad being an electrician, so to speak.
Right.
So it was, it was good. And obviously me and Dean followed in the footsteps of playing football, and now I'm doing the management, obviously complete different levels, but yeah, probably down to dad being involved in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it allowed us as well to play football loads. So like after games at Fulham, we used to go onto the concourse and play football and play after game when Dad was doing all the stuff afterwards and drinks and managers and stuff. Me and Craig would be out playing with friends, and then summer holidays, Easter holidays was down the training ground, and we used to get just given a goal. We used to play a 4-length pitch. Me and my brother used to play 1v1 on a 4-length pitch. Wow. That was Craig's idea, to be fair.
I was a bit fitter then.
And so, you know, if you want to be a football player, practice is what you want to need. So we were really lucky in that we had access to those facilities, and just being around the environment as well from an early age was quite helpful. Just sort of you know, mixing with players and probably just seeing how it worked without really ever realising it until you get a bit older. But you sort of been brought up in it, you kind of get used to it.
So another question as well, this is what really interests me, is I love football stadiums. There's just something about the aura, especially English football stadiums. I was at Nottingham Forest the other week and I'd never been there, City Ground, and it's just an old iconic stadium like the likes of Villa Park, Craven Cottage. For me, they've got so much character, they've got so much about them. And obviously these new stadiums, these concourses, they're fantastic state of the art, but for me they just don't have as much character. What was it like, as you said being young and you had access to these stadiums, what's this like, you know, as a youngster? You know, your dad's there, he's playing, you know, he's in and around. What's it like, like you said, playing full lengths of the pitch? What's it like being in and around this stuff and going to these football stadiums and having sort of backstage access, which normal people don't get?
No, everywhere we went, we'd be in the director's box, weren't we? Yeah. So we didn't slum it. We'd done it properly. So we'd be director's box. So that, again, probably too young to really appreciate it back then. But as we got older, and Dad was at Palace and at Watford and that, you'd have a box or a director's box ticket, and then you really do appreciate what he's doing. But no, it was really good, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, I think obviously Dad's career got better as we got older.
Yeah.
So when we was younger, like Swansea away, like you say you like
on
old
a Wednesday
stadiums,
night.
Weren't so appealing. It weren't so appealing.
like next to the prison.
Absolutely.
Weren't that glamorous, or Wrexham away. Like I think you look back and think they're probably better than what they were. Those stadiums, but when we was younger, they were a little bit. I don't know. As Dad's career progressed, the stadiums got much better and they become more of a day out sort of thing.
To be honest, I think we've probably done every stadium, haven't we?
Close.
The
Like,
92.
maybe not like the brand new ones.
Yeah.
Like I was going to say Middlesbrough, but we've done Middlesbrough. You had them in that cup semi-final.
Yeah.
But was that League Cup?
League Cup, I think,
semi-final, yeah. But so all the old ones we would have done. We probably have done the 92.
The 92.
And then some of the newer ones, maybe we haven't done. I haven't done Man City, the new one.
Yeah.
Things like that. But went
Not
to
missing
Main.
much.
But went to Main Road. Done
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So we done a lot of them. Well, all of them. I'd say all of them.
I think the one thing that they're both very fortunate for was is my wife,
Yeah.
who took them everywhere.
Wow.
Literally everywhere. As Craig mentioned earlier, Newcastle. I mean, she would just drive up there, and she would, and we'd come straight back. Sometimes I come off the coach and drove back, but quite often she'd drive up and back.
Wow.
And took the boys everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. Wow. So they had the opportunity to do it, but there's not many people that would every Saturday and some Tuesdays and Wednesdays be prepared to get in and travel 3 hours to watch a game on a cold, windy day. And
Up in Newcastle.
Absolutely.
Especially when we were fighting in the back of the car.
I mean, this must have been a fantastic experience, going to watch your dad play and, you know, manage, and especially in the England setup. This must have been an absolutely phenomenal experience for you guys.
Yeah, again, like what Dean just said, as we got older, Dad's career got more successful. So I would probably say, well, I'd just been released from Wimbledon, so I was 19. But when I was 20, you were at Watford. You was at Watford when I got released, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you were. So when I was 20,
Yeah.
I had a little, I wouldn't say a break, but when I got released, obviously I didn't have football for a few weeks. So I'd go and watch Dad at Watford, and that year you got to the FA Cup semi-final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the League Cup semi-final, both the same year.
The following year.
Following year.
Yeah.
So then I actually started to see not the enormity of it, but you actually thought, Dad's doing all right here. Do you know what I mean? I was at Watford. Then the Fulham thing come about, and I know you won't mind me saying this, but Roy asked him to go to Liverpool, and he didn't. And then when Roy got the England job, you sort of think, has Dad missed the boat here?
Yeah.
And then when Dad got the call, like England, I was like a little kid.
Slight correction there, because Fulham made it clear that they didn't want me to go. So Roy never asked me. He was told that he couldn't ask me. So whether he wanted to take me or not, I don't know. But Fulham weren't going to allow me to go. So,
but like when he got the England thing, just like, you know, we got flown out to Brazil to watch the World Cup, and it was bonkers, wasn't it? You know, you're like, and I was a proper little England fan during the World Cup and Euros. I'd be down the pub, like England. I hated it. I must admit, I hated it when Dad done it.
Really?
I hated it. From being like Mr. England and in a pub cheering them on.
Yeah.
I hated every minute of it, because just the pressure you feel. I don't know. Me and Dean are a bit different, and like he probably didn't feel it as much. Where I felt like Dean ain't on social media.
Attitude, you know, solid mentality and all that.
But I would read social media, and if they had a bad result, you'd be like, "What's going on here?" Like, and where he's not on it, so he didn't really see that side of it. Where I took everything to heart. But then when they won a game, I'd be buzzing, because like they would be the best things in the world. So, but yeah, I must be. When Dad went to England, I hated it.
Really?
I didn't enjoy it at all.
Wow. Okay.
Then the Iceland game was like tip of the iceberg. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it was as massive, like I said earlier, as massive pros having a dad being that successful. But then on the other side, there's when you got people walking up to you going, "Why's your dad doing this?" Or useless. They've lost the right. It's your dad at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So if I was walking down the street and someone had a pop at you, you're going to react. Yeah. But you can't, because of the industry he's in. So, but because of the industry he's in, people feel they can say what they want to you. Do you know what I mean? So
did you feel that as an added pressure when you were young?
Yeah, it just wasn't nice that people, your dad's useless. Well, I wouldn't go up to my mate and go, "Your dad's a rubbish plumber."
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? You just wouldn't do it, but they feel they can say that
Some
about
people
your
do,
dad. But like, you know what I mean? But they feel they can say what they want about your dad because he's involved in football. So almost if you're involved in football, it's like a free hit, and that's the negative side of it. So yeah, it was pros and cons.
Yeah, I would say that I've been lucky enough to go round the grounds with my career sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so then most most of the clubs in the back room, there's normally staff that have been there for 15, 20, 25
Yeah.
years sort of thing. And pretty much everywhere I go, someone will say, "How's your dad?"
Yeah.
Pass on my best to him. Like, you know, sometimes you get a steward comes over, like an old steward that's been there for 20 years, and they're like, "Oh, your dad's really nice. I remember watching him play." And so you get some really nice comments too, where we go around the grounds, and I played at Accrington last year, and there used to be a boy that Dad used to look after when he was at Sheffield United in the digs.
Yeah.
He used to babysit me and Craig when they used to go out for a drink or something with mum sort of thing, and he would come and, it was Clive Mendonca, and there was another lad that used to come and babysit us.
Wow.
He drove from, I think it was Leeds,
Yeah.
to Accrington,
Yeah.
just to say hello and to pass on best wishes to Dad after the
Really?
game. He didn't come to the game, just wait by the bus after.
Wow.
So it's nice that you
Special.
see, especially like Craig said, fans are a little bit result driven sort of thing.
Be very fickle.
But there's
Yeah.
people at clubs that have been there for years that always come and say hello. And funny enough, me and Craig don't have the best reputation with refs, but refs always say, "How's your dad? How's he getting on?" Dad's actually the same one of the three of us sort of thing. We get it from my mum, unfortunately. But refs, we don't get on more of them, but they look at us like, "How's your dad? How's he doing?" So it's really nice you do get the other side too of it, of people sort of passing on.
That's good. That's nice. That is really nice. Yeah, definitely. So, speaking, Craig, so give us a rundown of your career. Obviously, we know you've been a pro and been in non-league, and now you're in management. So,
Yeah, so I was at Wimbledon until I was 19.
okay.
I got released just before my 20th birthday, the January of that year.
How was that?
The world's finished.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not one of them careers where you can sort of, I don't know, sort of go half-hearted and,
Yeah.
you know, I might do this, I might do that. You leave school and you're going to be a footballer, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? That is it. So
Yeah.
all your eggs are in one basket. There was not one part of me when I signed my apprenticeship that I weren't going to be a footballer.
Yeah.
I was captain of the youth team, I was made head boy, captain of reserves a couple of times I played with them. So in your head, you're just going to be a footballer.
Yeah.
So when that's taken, fortunately these two haven't experienced it, but when that's taken away from you, the world's finished. Do you know what I mean? Because like I say, all your eggs are in that basket. So when I got released, you don't know what you're going to do with yourself because you're only going to be a footballer. That's all you're going to be.
Yeah.
Even at school, he was the same. We had our apprenticeships before we'd done our exams. So you're doing your exams. I'm not really bothered about my exams because I'm going to be a footballer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's on the back burner.
Yeah. Not like I'd passed them, but but you're going to be a footballer. So when that's taken away from you, you literally, your world's finished.
Wow.
You don't know what you're going to do. And then I went to Barnet for a couple of games. I went to Brentford for a while. But my heart, you're not really in it. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would have got in anyway. I'm not saying because my heart wasn't in it. That's why I didn't get signed. I'm not saying that at all. I might not have been good enough. That's what they might have thought. But Wimbledon was my team,
Yeah.
not Barnet, not Brentford, Wimbledon. So all of a sudden when it's not there, I don't know. I just wasn't fully on it. Then reality hits. You got to get a job. You get paid all the time. It's your full-time job.
Yeah.
Then you're effectively unemployed. So I had to get a job. Then dropped into non-league and.
Just quickly on that, how was that? Obviously, I'm interested in that process of how you went. Obviously, this is how I'm earning my money, and I think a lot of people go through life in how they're going to earn money, how they're going to provide. So, where did your ideas come from to what you do today? If that makes sense.
I started pimping my body for a year.
That didn't go too well.
No, that's why I had to go coaching. When I was a schoolboy, Dave Mellon, who Dean and Dad know,
Yeah.
he was my coach. So he said, "Why don't you come and do a bit of coaching as a stopgap?"
Yeah.
And then I've done it ever since. It's just like something. Listen, if you can't be a footballer, the second best thing is being out there teaching it or coaching it. So that's how I looked at it.
Wow.
So so I've done that. But now I dropped into, obviously Wimbledon were a Premier League team, so you're treated like royalty when
Yeah,
you're there.
of course.
So my first game, I think Dad was there, was Cheserton away for Kingstonian reserves. There wasn't a blade of grass on the pitch, do you remember? And kit weren't laid out. You're used to getting everything being done nicely.
Wow.
And I remember I put my sock on and it had a hole in it. And I was like, "Oh, can you get the kit man to get me another sock?" There's 14 pairs of socks.
It don't work like that.
Yeah, you got to wear that one. So I literally had a hole like that. And the pitch was horrendous. The game was horrendous. The standard was horrendous. You're actually thinking, "What should I want to do this?" And I think that's why so many boys that get released don't play football anymore because they're used to having everything
Done.
for
Standards
them
are
and
unreal,
everything. And also you drop into the league and it is different.
Yeah.
Like, we're lucky here with the facilities we've got, but most non-league clubs ain't like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's pitches are awful, facilities are awful, kit's awful.
Yeah.
We're lucky here if someone gets in their salt, we're going to get another one.
Yeah.
But that ain't the case. So I went to Kingstonian, going on a bit here. But
no, go for it. This is what everyone wants to hear.
but
Please.
Started Kingstonian, so that was effectively what the Conference South is now.
Yeah.
So it was Conference and Ryman Prem. So it was Kingstonian was in the Conference South as it is now. Had a couple of years there, and then I went to Hampton and Richmond. They were having all the problems with the grounds. Kingstonian, the AFC Wimbledon were buying it, and we weren't getting paid, etc. So it was a good time to go. So I then went Hampton and Richmond, what would have been the Conference South now.
Yeah.
Maidenhead, which was Conference South. Then where did I go after that? Sorry. Windsor. Well, Windsor before Maidenhead, then Maidenhead. Then I went back to Kingstonian. Again, they were on the way down. Then it wasn't a good move. Then I went Walton Casuals. I was there for a while.
Yeah.
All-time appearances for that club.
Runs in the family, then.
That's it. And then Molesey had asked me to go there for years as I was getting on in my career. My career was coming to an end. They asked me to go down there to play and hopefully win the league. And I thought, you know what? I was 30 odd at the time. I thought I'd give it a whack. They'd asked me for year after year, so I went there and we did win the league. Second year of asking. I took over there as manager for a little bit. A few things were going on behind the scenes which weren't good.
Okay.
So I ended up at Cobham, and then here I am now.
Wow. So has it been helpful in your career, leaning on your father for advice in obviously playing and management?
Yeah, look, listen, Dad, Dean will say the same. Dad, if you come off the pitch and Dad says you've played well, you know you've played well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I was good today, Dad. He was all right. But
He's
what about that?
He's never said that to Craig, by the way.
That's why I got released. That's what I was but, yeah, well, you could have done that better, or you could have done this better. That weren't Dad not being supportive, that's just Dad knowing what he's going on about.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
The amount of dads on the side that go, oh, you're brilliant today.
Oh, yeah, well done. It's an absolute stinker.
Yeah, exactly, but
you
never know no different. So me and Dean, again, you say positives having a dad in football, you know exactly what you've done right or wrong after a game. Now, obviously I'm not playing, but as you all know, Dad's here every game, home and away, isn't it, basically?
Mostly, yeah.
And I'll come in, I'll go in at half time and do my little bit, and then I'll come in just for 2-3 minutes before second half and just say to Dad, what do you think?
Then he changes it all around and goes, you got this all wrong here, you're set up completely wrong.
Everything you told him is wrong, don't do this. No, but I'll come in and just say, what do you think? And invariably we're on the same page. And now, again, he won't mind me saying this, Dean's footballing career is now slowing down. So he's now getting involved in the coaching. So Dean's been doing sessions, which the boys have been loving. So I'm very fortunate that I've got these two to call upon.
Yeah.
Dean's taking training tonight, and the boys love it. They listen and respect what me, Brownie, Chalks, Crossy say. But when you've got these two here who've done what they've done, they hang off every word. So he could say the exact same as I say, but I know they'll be like tuned into him. When I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, yeah. So with Dave, or Dad, it's because of what they've done, they hang off it. Do you know what I mean?
With that, do you ever get nervous with the pair of them watching?
No.
Embrace that.
Yeah, don't even think about it. It's just your brother and your dad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. So, no, and like I say, they're both here to help. So, there ain't many managers, well, certainly at step 5, but in non-league that can say, going to at half time and ask an opinion on something. So, I'm in a fortunate position. Quite
an experienced opinion as well.
Yeah. Well, the previous 2 years we've come 12th. These two have been about the 4th. So. There's nothing to do with them. It's me. That is all me.
So non-league football has some classic quirks. We often hear of everyone having to do their bit in running the responsibilities on your shoulders in addition to running the team. So what are these quirks that I've been prompted to ask you about?
What, apart from running the team?
Yes.
Washing kit.
Yeah. Brushing the pitch.
Brushing the pitch.
Scott,
I actually enjoy that.
So talk to us about this brushing the pitch.
So obviously when we've got the 3G, if it's not brushed, the grass goes flat.
Yeah.
So it needs to be brushed all the time. So when it was laid, matey brought the tractor down and showed us how to use it, and I was like a little kid. I was thinking, I'll have a bit of this. Yeah.
So is this something you do religiously?
Monday and Friday.
Right. Okay. At a certain time.
Every morning. Every morning I'm out there, put my music on. I'm even getting patterns on the pitch now. Getting
patterns on a 4G pitch is
unreal.
Something else. So is this this is what I'm trying to get. Is this a relaxation thing, or is this a what's the word for it? Is this when you do something religiously, like a good luck?
Yeah, no. It's just it needs to be done. It has to be done.
Okay.
So someone's got to do it, and I
you're
do
the man
it.
to do it.
Yeah, I do it. I don't work in the morning, so
Okay.
happy to come down and do it. Also, it gives me a chance to listen. Like they'll manage at professional levels or have. Non-league, as much as it is different in terms of quality, it ain't in terms of organisation.
Yep.
Dad'll be on the phone all the time. Dean will be on the phone when he gets into it. And even it's no different with me. In fact, it's probably more non-league because you've got so many more things to organise.
Yeah.
A lot of things at that level are done for them. But
Yeah.
so out there, I either put my music on
Yeah.
and I'm up and down on the tractor like
Yeah.
a little kid, or you're making phone calls, organising the next day's game, or
Yeah.
analysing what happened in training the night before. So yeah, it's actually quite a good downtime. Just hour and a half just on there banging it out. And
Nice.
but yeah, like you say, but this level of football, Sunday mornings I'm in here washing the kit, or Sunday afternoons after my little boy Freddie's football, so I'm in washing the kit. If we've got a game Tuesday, it needs to be cleaned.
Yeah.
Just little things. It ain't just stand on the side for 90 minutes. There's so much more that goes into
The
it.
backroom stuff doing that. So speaking of that, when you're talking about what's the infrastructure with this football club like? What's your relationship with the club and how do they support you?
No, they're good, to be fair. You couldn't ask for like a better club at this level.
Okay.
Anything that I wanted or needed, they do. I.e., we ain't got a game for a couple of weeks, so we've asked if we could get a gym session booked in with a personal trainer. Yep, not bother. So we're booked in next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'll pay for that. They'll go and do their weights and all their stuff. So whatever I've needed, they've not said no to. Listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go in and start asking for things I know they can't give me.
Yeah.
But as long as it's within reason,
Yeah.
they're happy to do it. Most clubs at this level, you probably just told them no.
Okay.
And that's where sometimes like managers and chairmen come to loggerheads because
Yeah.
they don't see the bigger picture. We're here, Dave, Mark, Sam. They're all good as gold. Do you know what I mean? They're all.
So you feel that your needs are met fully?
Sorry.
You feel that your needs are met fully?
Oh, 100%.
Brilliant.
100%.
Brilliant.
And then it's down to me. If then I ain't doing a good job, then it's on my head. Do you know what I mean? So I think if I ask for stuff and they said no, I've always got an excuse. Well, I wanted this, you never give it to me. So that's why we're losing, or that we're not. I ain't got that. Everything that I've asked, they've given. So now it's down to me now to. It's like you live by the sword, die by the sword, don't you? So
what's your hopes and plans for this Cobham team then?
Well, this team just get promoted.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you get promoted, you're going to need more players. That's a gimme. And that's the horrible side of football. Again, these two will tell you more. But as you go through the levels, it'd be brilliant to all stay together.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. Do you know what I
of
mean? If you
course.
want to do well at the next level, you need better players. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need 11, but you'll need one or two.
Definitely.
But no, for this team, we're in a cup, 4th round.
Yeah.
So we want to get into that cup final, win that cup, and obviously get in the playoffs and win them.
Yeah, because you've been doing really well recently and had some really good results as well.
Yep, no, we're doing all right. Like I said to you the other day, we're unbeaten in 2025. We've
good.
only lost 6 all season, and most of them were at the start of the year. So we're doing all right. We're not getting carried away.
Of course.
And as we keep saying, if we get in the playoffs, it doesn't mean we're going to win them.
Yeah,
lose the first game and you're out.
Yeah.
But if you'd have said to me at the start of the year, we'd be flirting with the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'd have ripped your hand off. So to actually be in them and have it in our hands, is I think it's a good achievement.
Definitely. So, do you, as a professional coach, do you have any particular age group, gender, that you or level that you enjoy coaching more?
Well, you say professional. My job is in I coach in schools, so they're quite young, and as much as you can lay on some sessions, they're very basic. So the stuff out there with the boys, the first team,
that's the
one. You can actually put on proper sessions. And test yourself. Do you know what I mean?
I did actually. Funny enough, you say that. I did actually see you hit the crossbar from the halfway line. First go, and it's on YouTube.
I'll do it again tonight if you want.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you want it. And
You can do that again now.
Notice he didn't do it.
No, he didn't.
I had it warmed up.
Okay. So you reckon you could do this again first time?
Known for it.
Really?
No, but I'll give it a go.
Okay, let's do this.
If there's money involved, you'll back out.
So, thank you very much. Look, so that wraps up episode 1 of this podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the content. We're going to roll on to episode 2. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. please share, please like, and please comment. And there's some more. If you really like this content, there's some really interesting stuff coming up. So stay tuned, and we look forward to you watching. Thanks a lot. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good.
Absolutely fantastic.
You'll move that forward there.
No.
God.